Alright guys, here is part 3 of my talk with the real comic book gamer on Batman v Superman and Captain America Civil War. If you enjoyed it, then you can check out part 4, which is on his channel, as well as part 1, which is on mine, and part 2, which is on his. I'll have all 4 parts, well, 3 other besides this one, linked in the description below. So if you guys enjoy the series, then, let us know and give us a like, and we'll definitely do some more collabs and dual comms, stuff like that in the future, if you guys enjoyed it. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay, that's fair. That was a good discussion. Let's talk about the villains now. Lex Luthor is a far superior villain than Zemo.
They both suck. They do not both suck. Tell me how Lex is so superior to Zemo. They both suck.
Okay, well, first of all, Zemo is a bland, boring villain. His
my bad. Zemo didn't piss into a jar of tea. My bad. You're right. Lex is so much better.
Okay,
that's what he should have done. Zemo sucks as he's a terrible villain in this movie, but Lex is equally as bad.
He's like, oh, it's so tired. It's just so one-dimensional. He's like, oh, I pitted them against one another. And furthermore, this movie is very, very predictable. I don't want to get too much into it. But it's like, oh, yeah, they're in the UN building. I was like, oh, this building definitely isn't going to blow up. Oh, no, it's definitely not going to.
It's almost like Batman v Superman showed us everything that happened in the trailers. And actually one trailer.
Okay, well...
Trailer number 2 showed us the entire story beat of the movie. And we could predict everything.
But the Capitol exploding was still the shock. There was no shocks in this movie. And when you see the car get destroyed, it's like, oh, I wonder...
Wasn't a shock at all.
Wait,
when
what?
He did that... No, the Capitol exploding wasn't a shock at all for me in Batman v Superman. When Scoot McNair was in there with that chair that Lex gave him, I'm like, yep, it's going to explode. And it did.
You really knew that?
There was...
Damn.
Yeah, there was no shock at all there.
I did not predict that.
I thought that was pretty easy to understand. Like, same with Civil War, you knew, like, he was going to die. Because you knew he had to die so T'Challa could become king. So you knew he was going to die right there.
Mm-hmm.
But same with Batman v Superman. You knew that place was going to explode. And Superman just starts moping more. I wanted to see, in that scene, I knew they weren't going to do it, but I was hoping. There's a great scene in Superman Earth 1 Volume 3 where the government, like, he goes and he addresses, like, the UN and everyone because they're all pissed at him for what he's done, like, basically stuff like Man of Steel. And he's like, what the hell were you thinking? Because they have Zod try to kill him. They, like, hire Zod to kill him. And he's like, I've screwed up, but not as bad as you guys have. In the end, I've saved lives and things like that. And he goes on this epic rant, like this great speech. And I wanted to see something like that, but no, we don't get that. And I want to see Superman to be more like Captain America was in Civil War. Because in Civil War, Cap is a soldier. We see the fact that he's got the experience of this. And he's like, people die. It's sad, it's terrible, but that's what happens at the end of the day. We're doing more good than bad. We're saving people, but there are casualties. Where Superman's like, I don't know if I should save people because people get mad at me for it.
Because Superman is more virtuous. Superman is more virtuous, and he's...
That movie wasn't.
How is he not? He's more morally succinct, and he's more caring than Captain America. Would you not agree with that from your knowledge of Superman?
It's Superman the character, yes, not Superman in Batman v Superman, no. That Superman was not even close to being as good as the Captain America in Civil War. Superman in the comics, yes, he's my favorite superhero, of course.
I know. Okay.
But not in Batman v Superman. That was not even close to being the Superman I love and know.
Okay, and the Batman in Batman v Superman is not the Batman that I know or love, you know.
That Batman's an idiot murderer.
Oh, he's not an idiot.
Taking down Superman was retarded.
Nah, okay.
Come up with a better plan.
No, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say. But
see.
Okay, but the thing that bothered me most was, well, I do agree that one thing I would have liked to see is where, like, Batman is kind of demising, like, a strategy, you know, like Cap in the first Avengers, he's like, you go here, you go, Wonder Woman, do this, and then, like, I don't know, it could have been funny, they could add more comedy, since people really like that, I guess, and then they just fly off while he's giving instructions, I don't know, maybe that could be funny. I'm not a screenplay writer, okay, so I don't know. Okay, so let's go back to the villain. So we agree Zemo's a bad villain, okay.
Yes, Lex
he's terrible, and it's just the Marvel movies do this, it's just so... They give him, like, an accent, and there's, like, how stereotypical, trash, boring, bland villain. It's like, oh, he's got the EMP, oh, no, okay.
Yes, but at least he never shoved a Jolly Rancher in someone's mouth.
Okay.
That's something that I told my friend who had not seen Batman v Superman. He thought I was joking when I told him that Lex Luthor shoves a Jolly Rancher in a guy's mouth.
But
he specifically tells him it's cherry. My friend thought I was joking. I was like, no, that is a scene that happens in the movie.
Okay, but Lex Luthor is a far superior villain to Zemo.
No.
Okay, let me explain. Let me explain.
Okay, explain.
Okay, Zemo is a bland, boring villain that has an accent, and it's just stereotypical comic book. He sucks.
Really honing in on the accent
He's
thing.
self-interested. The reason that Lex Luthor is better is because his opposition to Superman is more philosophical than it is realized. So what do you mean by that? Well, he in the speech with Senator Finch, he says that my father, every other Saturday, he waved a flag at tyrants. And this is what he fears, is that your children too will be doing the same. But you will not be waving at a man tyrant. No. You will be waving at Superman because he is this godly being that will control us. So in fact, he is not as self-interested as he is in the comics. He is a philanthropist, and in fact, I believe that he cares much more so about mankind than he does in other iterations of the character. And his opposition to Superman is not as just personal. It's like, oh, he killed my son. Oh, I'm pissed. That's why I think he's better overall.
Alright, so you think he's more interested in human interests? That's why he creates Doomsday? How's that?
No,
what was his plan there?
Okay,
if he wants to help humanity, what's his plan with Doomsday there?
He knows that Batman stole kryptonite, and he knows that all these metahumans around, such as Aquaman and Cyborg, will show up in the event that it escalates basically to something worse than it would be. And he knows that Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman. He certainly knows that Superman would never allow this being to basically kill the entire world because he doesn't want to die.
His plan was for it to kill Superman.
Okay, right.
He's not planning on Superman taking it out.
Right, but what I'm saying is that he had a concern. He did not have a disconcern for human life, and even if he does, which he obviously did in creating this massive being, but his concern is more so in that his view is that Superman is such an imminent threat to mankind that casualties, human casualties, maybe even 1,000.
Creating something more powerful is not as bad. That's uncontrollable and has no
conscience. It's not uncontrollable
okay.
because Batman has kryptonite, and Batman would never let that thing go, nor Wonder Woman, nor Superman. So he knows that
nothing during that fight. You're acting like Lex was contingent on the plan that Batman will stop him.
That's why I wanted to see Batman call the shots.
That's true. This Lex is even stupider than I thought, and I thought he was pretty stupid to begin with.
He wasn't stupid. In what way was he stupid? He pitted these two characters against one another. He tricks Batman.
Capturing his mother that Superman could have easily saved, and then not even keeping tabs on the fight.
But
his whole plan, just like Batman's plan, contingent on Superman being a complete moron. Okay. Which it worked because this Superman is an idiot. That's my problem. Was there's so much lack of common sense in Batman v Superman, especially in that Batman v Superman fight. But it's just the characters have no common sense. Superman, there's so many things he could have changed, but he's an idiot.
And how smart are Iron Man and Captain America, where the bad guy is literally on the other side of the glass, and they're watching this TV screen that he's live streaming from the back room to the front, and gets them to fight each other. I mean, how ridiculous is that? It's not much better.
Well, no, Zemo was stupid. Like I said, Zemo is a stupid character, but they can't break in there. They already said that's to withstand when the nukes are being fired.
Okay, so they're like, oh, the bad guy is projecting a screen right here on the TV. Let's just watch it and see what he has to say. He's definitely not trying to pit us against one another.
To be fair, what else are you going to do? You can't break in there.
Okay, break the screen, not look at it? I don't know. Or be explained like he's tricking us. He's putting us against one another. I don't know, and yeah, Zemo's just so terrible, and there is this, like, he tries to be this, they try to portray him as this master villain that's pulling all the strings.
That's what they tried to do with Lex, but Lex didn't really even set up the fight. Batman wanted to fight him in the first place.
Wait, so, how did he not set up the fight?
Superman went and crashed the Batmobile, so they already wanted to fight.
No,
just
they did not.
wanted to give him a warning first.
Superman would not have fought Batman in the first place. He would not have fought him.
Yes, he would have.
No.
He wanted to fight him. He was like, this is your warning, so that way they didn't have to get into a fight. But if it came down to it, he was going to.
Okay, and all he would have done is he would have just grabbed him by the back of the collar and dropped him in a jail somewhere, or just carried him. That's all he would have done. He wouldn't have fought him. He wouldn't have just punched the crap out of him over and over again.
He would have, like, literally, if he would not have captured his mother, Superman still would have shown up to that fight.
But he don't you see, like, in his face, he's like, oh, I can't believe I have to confront him. He's so disappointed and he's like, not everyone stays good in this world before flying over to Gotham. So he has a extreme amount of remorse, and when he approaches him, he doesn't approach him in this attitude of like, hey, douchebag, what you got, like he's more like, hey,
like
sorry,
that.
Bruce.
If Lex never would have said anything, done anything to Lois, done anything with his mom, Superman would have showed up to fight Batman.
Where's your evidence of that? How do you have proof of this?
Because he already went after him earlier and was going after him earlier. The only thing Lex did was show him that, okay, Lex is the bad guy, not Batman. That's the only thing Lex did.
But he was stopping him. He was more just, he was deterring him, not fighting him, not engaging him.
That's what he was going to do. Guess what? When he goes to stop him, but Batman's got a ton of kryptonite, it's going to turn into a fight.
But he doesn't even know what kryptonite was until he got hit with it. that was his first introduction.
He would have been like, okay, I'm going to take this pumpkin and then kryptonite, and that's when the fight breaks out.
Okay.
Literally, the fight would have happened without Lex. Lex just made Superman realize, okay, Batman's not the bad guy, Lex is.